Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings. Everton 3, Leeds United 0. What a performance. What a day at Goodison Park. We absolutely smashed Leeds to bits today. We started from the very beginning of the game and we just never stopped. Never stopped for the entire game. It was all about how Leeds were going to leg us around the pitch and we're going to do this and we're going to do that to them. Well, frankly, today, you know, we showed a side of ourselves that we haven't really seen it too much this season. Yes, of course, last week we did well against Brentford, but today, coming off the back of a disappointing result at Newcastle, a very disappointing result at Newcastle, we stood up. We showed some character. We showed some bottle. Some players who have been questioned. I've been questioned by myself. Stood up today and showed their worth. Showed everybody what they were made of. And when you seen the lineup before the game, you wouldn't necessarily have thought that. You wouldn't necessarily have thought this Everton team was going to come out and put a performance like that. But it did. The crowd were absolutely amazing. Absolutely energised the place. And the players followed suit. I'll get into the ratings, but not one player had a bad game today. Not one player had a bad game. Every single player tried their arses off today. And maybe it didn't always work for some of them. Maybe it didn't always fall the way you wanted it to fall. But every single one of them worked hard and stuck to the plan and never give Leeds players a moment's peace. And of course there was a couple of little moments, wasn't there? A couple of little stressful moments, especially when they hit the bar twice. But we deserved that look. Massively deserved that look. Ollie on the Super Chat says getting blues. Thank you, Ollie. They all deserved everything because they put so much into the game. And it had obviously been before the game, a lot's been said about 17 games to go and all that. You've got to start somewhere, haven't you? You've got to start somewhere. You have to give people something to get behind. You have to give people something to feel positive about. And, after the other night, I was starting to worry that maybe some of these players didn't have it in them to fight and react and really put a shift in. For the team, but today they showed they could, and the fans were amazing. Again, fans working together, fans getting the message across, fans using the power of social media to make Goodison Park a fantastic atmosphere. A lot said about negativity of Goodison Park, but if you harness the positivity of Goodison Park, if you get that, it's already the fans today was what the fans were saying was, this is about us. This is about the fans. Let's get behind the team. Let's get behind our own club. Let's get behind ourselves. And I think we did that from the very start. I was in the ground before 2:00, which is very unusual for me. And I could feel the atmosphere building. Not like, loads of people weren't singing and stuff. Just the atmosphere of because what I'll say today, there was no nerves today. I never felt any nerves, and I didn't feel people around me feeling nervous either. And again, that's getting in the ground. That's getting in there early, feeling positive about the game, doing your part, not just being a bystander. And I never felt nervous at all today. Stephen Williams on the Super Chat saying, Joe Kenny. We'll get on to John Joe Kenny in a little bit. But I never felt nervous at all today. I don't know how other people felt. But I never felt nervous. There was never that moment where I was thinking, oh, here we go, or Leeds. I felt straight away and I think that's what Frank Lampard did really well in the press conference by saying it's not a must-win game kind of thing. He was sort of hinting that it was, but he was keeping the pressure off, and I don't think there was any pressure. I think the fans understood that it was a huge game today and we had to win it, and we did win it, and we won it at a counter, and it was brilliant. And that's what you want. That's what we want. Get Goodison like that every single week. We know it can be like that. How much more fun is it to go into Goodison and experience Goodison like that? How is it? It's so much more enjoyable to be at the game when it's like that. You know, this season I've been critical. You know, I said after the Villa game how it didn't feel the same. Has maybe, you know, when we had Duncan Ferguson in charge the first time against Chelsea, but today did for some reason because the fans understood that it was a huge game, and we have to take this now into the next game and the next game and the next game, and we have to make Goodison like that every single game, because otherwise we're not doing our part, are we? And that's what it's all about, doing our part, and then the players hopefully will respond. And no one can criticise the fans then. No one can turn around and say, oh, they make it a horrible atmosphere. Today was brilliant. Today was a brilliant, brilliant atmosphere. And the players responded brilliantly. And I haven't enjoyed the game as much as that for a long time. I know last weekend's Brentford was good and stuff, but today was different. We were playing a team that was supposed to were going to, you know, destroy us all over the pitch. And we never let them. We never let them settle in. We never let them settle in at all. So, and everyone worked hard. And I mean, every single person worked hard today. I can't find any fault with any of the players at all. So let's get into player ratings. Jordan Pickford. Fine. Did he make a save? Oh no, a couple rattled his bar and he was probably beaten by them, but I don't think he had to make a save, and there was a couple of moments. One where I think he come out and punched it and took a foul, and then another, and then I can't even remember what the other one was, if there was another one. Might just be making that up. But he was fine. His kicking was mostly fine for the game, so I'll give him a 7. Don't even have to talk about him because he had nothing to do. Seamus Coleman. Seamus, real captain's performance today. Really, really, you know, scored the first goal, which was a mad one because I'm in the Gladys Street, it's not always easy to see when there's bodies in front of you. And, you know, that was I thought when the ball came in, was crossed in, it looked like it was just going to be a simple tap-in. I think it might have been Dom. I think it should have just been a simple tap-in, but the goalie got a save. And there's Seamus from nowhere, headering it in. And he was immense today, Seamus, because what he does maybe lack in going forward in his, not football ability, just because he's getting older. I think he made up for massively in his commitment and his demand and his drive to take the players further in the game. So Seamus Coleman, a 9, absolutely a 9. He was brilliant today and he drove us on. He absolutely drove us on. So well done to him. And on the other side, John Joe Kenny. John Joe Kenny was immense today. I honestly think we've just found this position. He was brilliant today. Early on in the game, I noticed him and he was like on Rafinha. It was almost like a man-to-man job. Every time Rafinha moved, he moved, and it was just the fact that he was so physical. He was so physical on the ball. Every time someone tried to go through him. He made sure nothing got through him, but he was also dead clever on the ball as well. Some really clever little inside passes, and his use of coming inside off the wing was really clever as well. Some really nice moments for him. He was really good today. He was really intelligent as well in the way he defended and the way he used the space. And I thought he was immense today. It was such a good performance. And if it moved, he kicked it. And he set the tone, I think, for so many players today. John Joe, the way he played, like coming in at left back, I just thought he was so good today. And yeah, I've give him a 9 as well, because Seamus got the goal, but I just thought he just set the tone. He was just so clever. All the little things, like, you know, this lad has got experience and knows how to play football, obviously, and he's been called on in the last few weeks. And he came on last week at left back, and he was just fantastic today. He really was. Yeah, I can't really say any more. It was obviously his best game in an Everton shirt, but he was really clever as well. He was really clever the way he was so like street smart. I actually couldn't get over how well he played because he was just so. Well, yeah, honestly, it was just brilliant. It was brilliant to see a young lad. And obviously, we're talking about Anthony Gordon in a minute, but it's really boss to see a young lad stand up and just have such a good game and not give the opposition a kick. And he's a bit of a leader as well. He was the captain of the under-23s team when we won the league, so he's got that leadership side in him. And he's been around the block. He's been around a few teams, played for big sides like Celtic and Schalke on loan. But he was boss today, boss. I actually can't get over how well he played. So I've given him a 9 as well. Michael Keane, obviously scored the second goal, really important second goal, and he dealt with everything. It was a bit of a stroll for him. It was the kind of game he likes. Let's be honest, it was the kind of game he likes. I've given him an 8, and I've given Mason Holgate an 8 as well. Actually, no, I'll give Michael Keane an 8.5 because he scored. That's fair. I'll give him an 8.5, and I'll give Mason Holgate an 8. It was a pretty easy game for both of them today. They made it easy because they did all the things right. They didn't make any mistakes. They just cleared the ball. I've seen a couple of times Mason Holgate just putting the ball down the pitch rather than arsing about with it. Michael Keane was trying to be a little bit more clever on the ball because he's probably got a better passing range. But both of them were solid. And that's all you can ask for. And it was all about not conceding. First clean sheet for the Norwich game? Oh, sorry, Tottenham game. Sorry, Tottenham game was the last clean sheet we had, but the last game we won, I think, with the clean sheet was the Norwich game. I mean, that's not hard, is it? Because we've only won one game since. But they both did really, really well. And Michael Keane, the set pieces. Obviously, we scored 3 at home in the 2 games, which is massively important. Parasite football, I love it. Parasite football. The difference it makes being able to score off set pieces was, and I'll talk about Richarlison in a moment. But that set piece was how we got that set piece was brilliant as well. So an 8.5 for Michael Keane and an 8 for Mason Holgate. Donny Van Der Beek. I honestly think this is the best debut I've seen at Goodison Park for a very, very long time. He was immaculate in that midfield. He was immaculate. He was winning the ball. He was knocking it off. He was getting it back. Everything was simple. Everything was one touch. He put his foot in. He was immaculate in that midfield. He really, really was. He was absolutely superb today. The difference of seeing a mobile centre midfield. That's what a centre midfield is supposed to be like he was today. Like he was just getting around the pitch, getting his foot in, winning the ball, laying it off, getting it back. No, like he wasn't being a mad hero, wasn't charging around the pitch, he wasn't playing Hollywood balls. No, it was just dead simple stuff. Dead simple stuff. But the point being is he can go forward and go backwards, and he didn't go he wasn't like charging around the pitch, because he can't, because he's in a 2, and he just held his ground so well. He held his positional space so well. He just didn't get carried away. He was so in control of his performance. And maybe it was the best debut since Tony Cottee. But he was the difference having him in a 2 than having, say, Andre Gomez, who is not going to work back. Him and Alan today, they worked in tandem like a proper centre midfield. One went forward, one went back, and then the opposite. And he was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to give him a 9 as well. Yeah, he's exactly what we've been looking for in centre midfield. He really is exactly what we've been looking for. And as I said, his performance was so controlled, and obviously he'll be a mainstay, I imagine, in there now, for the rest of the season. No, unfortunately, apart from when we're playing the FA Cup, he was brilliant today, really, really brilliant. And that's the difference when you have a centre midfielder that can do a little bit of everything, rather than... His discipline, he was so disciplined as well. Really, really disciplined. So superb from Van Der Beek. Alan played well as well. I've give him an 8. Again, putting his foot in, bursting round the pitch. Again, always in tandem with Van Der Beek, and very, very controlled. Won most of his... Well, I don't know for a fact if he won most of the 50-50s, but it always felt like he did. And played really, really well. Give him an 8. As I say, it's always hard in there, but I think with the two of them in there, they just complemented each other a little bit more today. Whereas maybe when other people have been in there, it hasn't necessarily complemented. They worked together brilliantly in tandem. I thought Alan played really well. Anthony Gordon. No, I didn't know Anthony Gordon had been credited with the goal till I just got in then. I really didn't know that he'd been credited with the goal. I thought it was Richarlison's, and I thought it was a brilliant goal from Richarlison. But apparently Anthony Gordon got the goal because it clipped him on the heel, so fair play. But Anthony Gordon, again, you know, this is a player who is coming into himself so much more now. Football ability, yes. Appetite for the game, yes. Will to do well, yes. Open the door. Give me a cup of tea, please. Thank you. Can I have a cup of tea? Okay, the door's shut. I thought I was getting a cup of tea and the door's shut on me. How can I have it in my hand? Because otherwise it will... I'm like, thank you, because I need it for my voice. Thank you. Thank you. See, cup of tea. That's what happens when you're live. You need it. You can hear my voice. I need it. Anthony Gordon is just turning into such a confident, hard-working excellent footballer. Just an excellent footballer. He grafts. He wants to do well. He's an Evertonian, but he backs it up. He backs it up because he works hard. He steals the ball. He plays simple passes. He doesn't overdo it. He played one cross in the first half from the right-hand side, which, Dom, why did you not dive and header it, mate? Why did you not dive and header it? Oh, it was beautiful. It was so good. It was such a good ball. And all it needed was a diving header. And I just loved the kid to bits. I worried about him early on. He needed patience. He needed to settle. Do you know what? If Rafa Benitez did one thing and one thing only, it was he made Anthony Gordon a Premier League player, a consistent Premier League player. He was today again, and I said Frank Lampard talking about him yesterday. He just wants it, and he knows what it's all about, and he wants to do well, and he brings others into the game, and he's looking for shots, and he doesn't always overdo things and think he doesn't get excited. He just keeps his calm. He's a very calm-headed lad. He's always had the ability. It was all about finding the other side of the game, and to be fair to Rafa Benitez, he's given him that. He's given him that. Dare I say he's got a brain? A lot of young footballers come in and they play and they don't have a brain. And he looks like he's got a brain. So, Gordon, 8.5. Alex Iwobi. Alex Iwobi was really, really good today, wasn't he? Like, he was really good. Like, don't get me wrong, there was moments where you look at him and you think, and I always say this, are you playing the same game as everybody else? But he was excellent in his own. His skill set is a little bit different from other players. He has a slightly different skill set than other players. He tries to do things off the cuff, I think, then maybe a little bit more consistent, with a little bit more than someone who's got some consistency. But he just worked really hard today, and he got back, and sometimes to be fair, he looked absolutely knackered at sometimes, but the managers put faith in him. Obviously that would be where Damari Gray would normally play, and the managers probably looked for someone who can maybe carry the ball. And today he played really well. I've given him an 8. I think, he just worked hard for the team. He kept the shape. It's funny, isn't it? Because I was just thinking that before. This game reminded me of when we played Chelsea. We beat them 3-1. Duncan Ferguson's first game in charge. And Iwobi started in that game as well. I think Iwobi, where Anthony Gordon doesn't try maybe the spectacular pass, or not spectacular, but like the threaded little through balls. I think Iwobi does, and some of them come off and some of them don't. And that was a good little bit of balance today as well. So he did really well, Iwobi. Fair play to him. The manager will have. It's a different kind of manager. The manager will have, put an arm round him. I imagine he's that kind of player. And he played really well today. So fair play to him. Richarlison. I feel sorry for Richarlison because he deserved the goal. He really, really deserved the goal today. And I'm gutted that it's actually... I know Anthony Gordon's got it, but I'm gutted it's been taken off him. I really am, because that goal, he rolled the ball and then he shot. And honestly, all I seen was the ball at the back of the net. And I had no idea that it had been given to Richarlison. But it had been given to Anthony Gordon. He was brilliant today. He played just behind Dom, and he in with the role he used to play when Carlo Ancelotti come in. He played in the same kind of role, and Leeds players no one had a clue what to do with him, but he worked his bollocks off. Again, he worked his bollocks off. And I'll tell you what the one was, the corner for the second goal. The corner for the second goal, like Anthony Gordon last week, winning the ball back that led to the third goal when we got a corner. The ball for the winning the ball and it going out for the goal for the corner. Sorry, they're the little things. They're the little intangible things that. They're the little intangible things that you can't always point to, but you can when it ends up being a corner and we score off the corner, and then you can turn around and go. Richarlison won us that corner out of absolutely nothing. He won us that out of absolutely nothing, and we scored from it. And that's what hard work gets you. They're the little differences. Like last week with Gordon, today Richarlison. But Richarlison was brilliant all game. I'll give him a 9 because he was brilliant all game. He worked his bollocks off for us, and I'm gutted for him that goal's been taken off him. I'm really, really gutted for him because it was the play. The play was superb. The play was absolutely superb. And when you've got Richarlison firing, and when you've got the fans singing his name, and when he's up for it, and when he's working his bollocks off, he's not a centre forward. He's a that kind of player who plays off the centre forward. And when you've got Dom playing and you've got him just behind him, then they're a really hard. When obviously Dom, I still don't think Dom's obviously match fit as such. But when he's on it, and when Richie plays like he did today, they're a brilliant partnership, and it's a partnership that would they should get more goals and hopefully get us the goals with the wins. He was brilliant today. And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, listen, Dom still doesn't look massively fit. He still looks not quite match fit. There was little moments today that in other games he would probably do better from. But for the most part though, he did hold the ball up. He did create little things. When we were 2-0 up, I think he got played in by Iwobi. It was a lovely ball around the corner. And the keeper makes a decent save. As I mentioned, there's one where he should have thrown himself at the cross, but he didn't, from Anthony Gordon. But I thought his hold-up play was a lot better. His timing is getting there. And I think hopefully now he just plays every week. And we start to see, listen, is that his 6th start of the season? Something like that. That's his 6th start, I think, of the season. And he's getting there. The timing is getting there. You can see a little bit more. So I've given Dom 7.5. He's not quite there. He's not quite there. He's getting there though. He's getting there. So I've given 7.5. The subs, Dele Alli, nice little cameo from Dele Dele Alli, or Dele, sorry, just Dele. Nice little cameo. We nearly witnessed witnessed an absolutely incredible goal. The ball by Dele to Rondon, and it's the save is incredible. The save is incredible, but the ball by Dele to Rondon is absolutely brilliant. Oh, it's unbelievable, and I don't think Rondon or anybody, Frank Lampard or anyone, could believe that he saved it, because it would have been an unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable goal. It was superb, absolutely superb. The ball, the way he arced the ball, and the fact that, you know, Rondon read it was just unbelievable. It could have been such a brilliant goal, and I think the place would have just erupted. It would have erupted. So Dele done well. Nice little cameo. I've given him a 7. He needs more time coming on, and just needs time. Just going back to Dom, Roberto says, we missed Dom's hold-up play so much. Gordon was high level. Van Der Beek was excellent. That's what we need. Thanks, Roberto. And Mr. H88 says, love the instant match reaction ped. We're buzzing, mate. As was the crowd it showed. Well done, everybody. Thank you. Yeah. So, honestly, that ball from Dele Alli, though, if that had gone in, that would have just been like goal of the year. Honestly, it was brilliant. El Ghazi came on. I've given him a 6. He run round a little bit. Didn't have that much time on. He run round. I didn't even realise he'd come on for a minute, but he came on and he did. You know, he run round a little bit. So I've given him a 6. And as I said, Rondon, I've given Rondon a 6. Rondon just, that would have been, what a goal that would have been, though. What a goal that would have been by Rondon if that had gone in. He did so well to connect with it as well. He did so well to connect with it. Really, really well. Yeah, he was so unlucky there that the roof would have come off, wouldn't it? The roof would have absolutely have come off. But it was just a brilliant day. It was a brilliant day, and we want more of those days. We want to listen. All we want is a team that we can be proud of, don't we? That's all we want. Just a team we can be proud of. And I think today, you know, you can come off the pitch saying, when you've got 10 outfielders, that any of them could be man of the match, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And listen, it's a win. It's one win. But you have to start with one win, don't you? You have to start with one win and then get another win and then another win, another win. Everton need, you know, to get 3 or 4 more wins, or 4 or 5 more wins, sorry. But you have to win that first game, don't you? You have to win it. And people can go, it's just one win. Well, Frank Lampard's now won his 2 home games, hasn't he? You know, and that's 2 in a week. So we just have to keep going. We have to get some decent results away from home, win our home games, and get away from where we are as fast as possible. You know, we've won the game. That's dragged Leeds into it a little bit as well. And we just have to keep going, create that atmosphere, and hope the players are up for it, because they've set the standard today. They have set the standard today massively. So I am absolutely delighted with that, as you can probably tell. You just want to be proud of your team. That's all it is. Just be proud of your team. And we got that today. So let's hope it continues. Let's hope next week against Southampton, it'll be a very tough game. They're a good side. Let's hope we have a similar kind of work rate, and we get something out of the game. Hopefully, anyway. There you go. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check out if you haven't already, check out the guys' reaction. Check it out just for the video of the end of the game and the fans and stuff, and and everything else, and the excitement in my voice. And make sure you check out Baz's videos as well. Thanks for watching. We'll be live on Monday doing the final word over on Patreon. So if you haven't signed up for Patreon, why have you not signed up for Patreon? There you go. Thanks for watching. I'm not doing a Frank Lampard rating because it's not the Frank Lampard rating show. It's the player rating show. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.